What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got some major stuff here going on here already today that I will update you on here right now. Some of this stuff is really, really crazy. Elon Musk, former President Donald Trump, and some governors, really a lot already. So let's jump right in here. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. If you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on new videos. And here we go. Check this out. Okay, Elon Musk, after he spent over $40 billion buying Twitter, posted a poll on Twitter whether he should step down as the CEO of Twitter. Most of the voters said yes. Here was the poll. He's done this several times lately where he's polled the public. This got 17.5 million votes. He did this notably here with should former President Donald Trump be reinstated to the platform. And that's also, it had a slight yes, I think it was like 52 to 48%. And he said, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll. 57.5% of people said yes, he should step down as the head of Twitter. With 17.5 million votes. This went on overnight from yesterday and today. So we'll have to see what happens. This is as he spent over $40 billion. And now he, if he goes by his own word, may have to step down here. And then he posts here, those who want power are the ones who least deserve it. He also goes on to say, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish, as you might get it. Yeah. He says here, going forward, there will be a vote for major policy changes. My apologies, won't happen again. Well, now he won't be the CEO of Twitter anymore. If he holds true to his word, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. Also, you could see here, Trump ominously evokes January 6th, tells his backers, quote, it's time to deal with the FBI and the Department of Justice thugs. Here's what he said on his platform, Truth Social. I'll show you the exact post here so you can see it. Let me show you. Okay, yeah, so former President Donald Trump said, this is his quote from his platform. Remember, he's been added back to Twitter here, but he's sticking with his platform, even though there's much, much less followers there. He says, quote, our country is sick inside, very much like a person dying of cancer. The crooked FBI, the so-called Department of Justice and Intelligence, and all parts of the Democratic Party and system is the cancer. These weaponized thugs and tyrants must be dealt with, or our once great and beautiful country will die. Yeah, the problem with this is, I mean, you guys can let me know your thoughts on this, but I mean, of course, he's criticizing the whole Democratic Party. He's criticizing the crooked FBI, which, remember that he appointed the head of the FBI, who is a Republican. He appointed him. The guy's still the head of the FBI. And remember that during the January 6th, everything that went down, it was his FBI, and the Department of Justice, it was his Department of Justice, while he was president. So, I mean, it was his whole Department of Justice that happened there. I mean, you guys can let me know your thoughts here. The other problem is that, the whole issue of what's going down here for January 6th is the whole they're investigating him for insurrection. You know, now he's saying that these weaponized thugs must be dealt with. Must be dealt with. You can even see here that said he's continuing the rhetoric that incites violence against the United States, and his thugs know what must be dealt with means. And now he's saying, and there's so many places talking about this here, and now he's saying that they must be dealt with, talking about the FBI and the Department of Justice. I mean, these are government officials basically just because Trump didn't get his way. Even the group Republicans Against Trumpism, these are Republicans, urged readers in a tweet to imagine the outrage response if former President Obama had done this, and called on his followers to take action against the DOJ and the FBI. These are Republicans saying this. Republicans Against Trumpism, a group, saying, imagine if former President Obama had done this. Imagine the outrage. So this is just the latest thing going on here. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. A lot of people saying that this is because the January 6th committee will take up criminal referrals against former President Donald Trump. The Department of Justice doesn't need the January 6th committee to give criminal referrals. But a lot of people think that, former President Donald Trump just growing increasingly frustrated with the process. But as you can see here, Republican lawmakers, Republican congressmen, and Republican senators also growing increasingly frustrated with Trump. Their actual quotes, these are Republican congressmen and Republican senators, quotes saying here, Republican lawmakers say Republican voters are shifting away from former President Donald Trump because of widespread doubt he can win a general election in 2024. Senator Mike Rounds, Republican from South Dakota, says, we win general elections when we bring independents with us. There's a lot of people that vote Republican every year, and there's a lot of people that vote Democrat every year or every election. He says we need more than simply the loyal base that understands conservative principles. That's the reason why you're seeing the polls suggest that we have a number of individuals who would get more votes than Trump in the general election. And so that's what's going to drive the determination who we bring as our candidate. Senator Cynthia Lummis, Republican from Wyoming, another senator, said Trump's 2024 presidential campaign, which he launched on November 15, has failed to gain traction in part because he has continued to push unsubstantiated claims that he lost the last presidential election because of widespread fraud. Remember that each state certified their own elections and recounted their own votes. Each state did that on their own. Each state counted and recounted and did that around their own. Quote, I don't think it was helpful when the issues he was focused on after he announced his 2024 campaign related to the 2020 election. I think if he's going to succeed, he has to focus on the future. I think if he focuses on the past, he won't succeed. This is coming from own Republican senators. His own Republican party is saying this. A third Republican senator who wishes to remain anonymous said, people are tired of losing. If Trump was winning, or if we were winning Senate seats, or got a big majority in the House, many people would judge former President Donald Trump differently. And this is probably why A new USA Today University poll of 1,000 registered voters found that 61% of Republicans and Republican-leaning voters say that they want Trump's policies, but they want a different presidential nominee for the Republican Party. The survey found that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as a potential nominee over Trump by a wide margin of 56% to 33% over former President Donald Trump. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on that. Also, kind of in another interesting story here today, Republican candidate Kari Lake, who's running for governor, calls for imprisoning Maricopa County election officials after she lost the election and just will not concede. And you kind of wonder here if this is going to become a trend going forward. Are we going to see more and more people that just won't accept if they lose? Kari Lake, here's what Kari Lake is saying. Defeated Arizona Republican gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake called for Maricopa County election officials to be, quote, locked up on Sunday as Kari Lake gears up to contest her opponent's certified victory in court hearings this week. And remember, each state certifies their own results. It's not the federal government or anything that does this. So Arizona is the one that certified this themselves. Speaking to a crowd of young conservatives at Turning Point USA America Fest, Lake discussed her election contest at length, repeating unproven allegations about both the 2020 presidential election and Governor-elect Katie Hobbs' Democratic victory last month, saying, quote, "These people are crooks. They need to be locked up," Lake said of Maricopa County election officials after listing off a series of largely disproven claims about election fraud. Maricopa County, Arizona's most populous jurisdiction that includes Phoenix, has become an epicenter for allegations of voter disenfranchisement after some election day vote centers experienced printer malfunctions. Lake on Sunday compared her challenge to the founding fathers fighting against British tyranny, repeatedly naming Benjamin Franklin and others as she said their blood is coursing through our veins, saying, quote, "They were fed up with tyrants and they weren't going to take it anymore." She said, "I think we're right there right now, aren't we?" Oral arguments on the motion are set for Monday, and a 2-day trial is set for later this week if the case moves forward. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I just feel like we really had not seen this in the past very much. She's calling on the election officials to be locked up. I mean, does she even know these people? Or is she just, are these just overall claims of, I don't know. I just feel like this is getting a little bit out of hand. Um, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And former President Donald Trump, calling on the FBI. And remember, he appointed the head of the FBI. He's a Republican, personally appointed by former President Donald Trump. Yeah, I think this is why a lot of, and again, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I think this is why a lot of Republicans are kind of starting to lean towards other Republican candidates. You let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but yeah, we will see here. We will see. So, as you can see here, there's absolutely a lot already going on here today to start as we're going in here into Christmas. It seems to like to be a lot of political turmoil here. Don't forget, they also have to fund the government here this week. They only passed a 1 week continuing resolution here that they will have to pass this week before Christmas, or else poof, government shutdown. So yeah, they're working on that as well. They're working on a lot of different things actually. They're trying to pass a child tax credit here and an adult tax credit, which could mean thousands of dollars for tens of millions of Americans. The child tax credits alone go out to like 60 million Americans. The adult tax credits are, I think it's up to like $7 or $8,000 potentially for low income Americans if they can get those passed. I think it's possible. We'll have to see what happens, but from what I've understand, they can actually pass this in the new year in 2023, and it can still apply for 2022 taxes because you file your taxes next year. So I think they can do that. I think they can do that. They're trying to still pass it this year, just because of the way of deal making works. There's that whole Republicans want this tax cut for corporations that's expiring. So they're trying to do that deal. So I'll keep you up to date here with everything because there's a lot. There's Congress really working on a lot of different things here. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet, so you don't miss out on new videos. And then click the bell icon so you get notifications. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I will have a trivia question for you guys in the next video. We're giving away thousands of dollars in cash, and that's happening every day. So stay tuned for that here as well. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And here is my newest video on a Social Security update that you got to know about. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.